What's good, YouTube? My name is Demetrius B. Welcome to the channel if you are new. Welcome back if you are returning. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about is trucking still a good business to get into in 2022? I'm going to give you my thoughts as well as what I think the overall market sentiment is right now. And I'm also going to give you from my personal experience of owning a trucking business for almost a year, of what I think trucking is kind of going to look like in the future, and then on top of that, where it is right now. So let's get into the video. So yeah, first thing that I want to talk about, these truck prices are insane. Okay, when I first started my journey into the trucking business, I purchased my first box truck. Many of you guys know this. For around, I believe I paid $12,500 for the box truck. It was a 2012 Hino 268. Had roughly around 330-ish thousand miles on it. You can't find the same truck for less than 30,000. 35,000 now. Inflation has definitely done a number on just all the markets, not even including just the trucking business alone. So that's really like the biggest barrier of entry outside of insurance and just the other small costs that you have getting into the business. So the amount of money that you have to spend now on a vehicle is almost tripled now. So do I think that truck prices are going to come down later on? Maybe if the Federal Reserve can kind of get their act together and things can the economy can kind of stabilize after what has happened, perhaps. But I'm not sure exactly what's going to hold in the future of the prices of these trucks. Like the semi truck that I bought last year, around the August-September time, I think more so in September, I paid 30 grand for it. It's now worth 35 grand for it. It's now worth 65 grand. So it's nuts what's going on right now, and that's just really the biggest barrier of entry is the price of these trucks. All right, so number two is, how has kind of the market changed as far as getting work like through Amazon or just getting work in general. If you go over the road, I mean, that has stayed the same, consistent. You'll always be able to find loads if you decide to go over the road. But if you tend to want to stay local, for example, it's going to be a little bit more difficult. Not to say that it can't be done, but again, it really just boils down to connections, guys. That's what the trucking industry is. The more connections you have, the better connections you have, the more successful that you're going to be coming into this industry. Amazon Relay has changed. Like since I started, the things that Amazon are doing now, it's changed a lot as far as the performance score and just everything, the way that Amazon operates now. So that can also be a little bit more difficult if you're looking to do Amazon Relay specifically. You just got to make sure that you have the right information and that you have the right knowledge going into doing Amazon Relay. So I know there's people out there that do trainings. So if you can get a training from them, that would be to your benefit. So that way, if you are really serious about doing this, you can know what to do before you actually really spend the money, and then you kind of have to, and then you make a mistake, and you kind of have to pivot from there if you do make a mistake with Amazon Relay, for example. So yeah, like make sure you guys have the right knowledge, make sure you guys have the right skills before you get into this, before you spend the money, because it's not cheap to try this out. I mean, literally before you can even make a dime, you have to invest. At least I'd say, especially with today's prices, anywhere from 10 to 15 grand from a down payment to a truck, and then if you're trying to buy a truck cash, above that. So Make sure you guys do that beforehand. Make sure you guys apply the knowledge that's out here. There's plenty of information, plenty of people that you can watch, not even including myself, that you can learn from, that will teach you the right knowledge that you need before getting into this. Yeah, by the way, guys, like with your performance score too, like if you're not on time, for example, they will hit you for that. They will hit you for that. If you're not on time to these destinations within minutes, I'm talking about minutes. I have people that I do on-time fixes for all the time, still to this day. I mean, I have somebody that has, I think like 10 trucks, and we just do it on a weekly basis for them. So, like it's real, guys. Like it's real. Like you never know. I mean, you may be late. There may be something that happens at the guard shack. It may be something an issue with the actual load itself. It may not be, arrive there on time. Like whenever you're trying to pick it up, your drivers may be late. Somebody may miss somebody may oversleep. It happens, guys. It happens. So that's something to look out for. Definitely something to look out for. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about my experience in trucking and what I think about is trucking. Do I think trucking is still a good, viable investment or a viable business to start? Yes, I think it is. Personally, from my experience, yes, it is. Even though I'm not in trucking anymore, I think it is still a viable option. It just depends on what your intentions are. Do you plan to start a transportation business and stick with it? Or do you have other things in mind that you want to do, but you want to use trucking as your stepping stone, for example? If you're trying to use trucking as a stepping stone, I still think it is, again, a good investment. Even with what's going on right now, all the barriers of entry, I still think it is. It was for me. It definitely helped me get my true goal realized, essentially. I basically used the funds from my trucking business and from everything that I do, from course sales to consultations, everything that I do, I use that to become an investor, essentially. And that's what I'm doing right now. I'm just an investor. That has been my ultimate goal since becoming an entrepreneur. So yeah, that's my personal kind of advice when it comes to that. It just depends on your intention and what vision you have for yourself. But that's with anything. That's with any business, real estate, anything. And all of this just boils down to your skill sets, guys. It boils down to your skill sets and how you apply them. But the thing is about this is if you are truly wanting the trucking business or transportation business to be your stepping stone, you have to at least try first. You got to put your best effort first and try it out. If it doesn't work, then you just got to try something else. That's what we have to do as entrepreneurs, right? So you got to continue to try no matter what happens. But yeah, there's no time to get started. There's no better time to get started than now. Okay, no better time to get started than now. If I had to do it all over again, I absolutely would, because I wouldn't have you guys. I wouldn't be in the position that I'm in right now. And that's kind of how you got to look at it. That's how you got to look at it. All right. So these are going to be, in my opinion, the biggest challenges getting into the transportation business. 1, having the right information. 2, finding a truck. Oh my gosh. Finding the truck is the hardest thing. I still get DMs constantly till this day of people looking for my help, my personal help in finding trucks. Guys, I'm not helping people find trucks. I mean, it's difficult. It's difficult. So, again, just make sure you use what's available to you. You go online, you go on social media, ask your network, see who has what you need, right? Especially, I think the biggest thing is people are looking for the kind of prices that I paid for my trucks, and those just aren't around anymore, guys. They're just not around. So if you're new to my channel and you've seen my video, it's a little over a year old now, on how I made 20K in my first month in business. Those prices are not around, guys. Okay. And again, I'm not helping people find trucks. So yeah, 1, having the right information. 2, finding a truck. 3, having resources for loads. Okay, those are the biggest challenges. All right. But there's a tons of resources for loads. There's different strategies that you can do to get resources, get work for your business. One is marketing. You can use brokers. You can use all these load boards out here. There's plenty of ways that you can find good resources for work for your business. So make sure you guys take advantage of that. Make sure you do your research beforehand, so that way you're prepared getting into this. Number 4, I say just all the little expenses that come with it. Fuel. You have, what else? Truck maintenance. Make sure you guys, when you guys are buying these trucks, if you can afford it, you get a third-party warranty from a reputable source for your truck. Okay, that covers the powertrain, all the big stuff, so that way when you do experience a breakdown, because it's going to happen unless you buy a newer truck and it's covered by a warranty from the factory, or you get it from the dealership. If you buy these older trucks, you're going to experience problems. That's just the nature of the business, guys. So make sure that you have a third-party warranty. It's going to cost you between $4 to $6 grand, but it's going to save you a lot of time and a lot of money. All right. So yeah, those are some of the biggest challenges, and from my personal experience that I've had to face getting into this. All right, so let's talk about this real fast. If you are looking to getting into box trucking, and if you're looking to getting into box trucking, into the transportation business, and specifically doing box trucks, I want to talk to you about transitioning into semis, okay? Because the thing is with the semis, there's a lot more work that's available. Now, you can get into the box trucking business, and it's easier for you to get in. That barrier of entry of not having a CDL is there, but I'm gonna advise all of you right now to consider getting into semis. There's a lot more regulations. There's a lot more money that's involved, but there's a lot more work, and the work is more consistent. And right now in the transportation business, there is a significant drought in the amount of drivers and trucks that are available to move the freight. So semis get preference over the box trucks. And your life will be a little bit harder due to the regulations and the rules that come with it, but a lot easier when it comes to finding work. And that's the biggest thing, especially if you want to be local, regional, or just overall in a better position to find work for your business. Because trucking it's not for the faint of heart. It's not for the faint of heart. You definitely have to be determined. You have to be focused, and constantly every day you have to keep your vision and your goals in mind, to kind of persevere through what you have to deal with when it comes to trucking. Okay, guys, so keep that in mind. If you are deciding to getting into this business, keep that in mind. All right, that's pretty much gonna do it for this video, guys. My name is Demetrius B. I appreciate you all for watching this video. Whether or not trucking is a viable investment or a good business to get into 2022. That's pretty much it, guys. Stay blessed out there. Again, my name is Demetrius B. I can't even say I'm the box truck prince no more. That's crazy. Maybe we'll come up with something else. I'm into crypto now, so I need somebody to drop a good like crypto name for me in the comments. Let me know what you guys think about this video. Again, I appreciate you all for being here. Let's make it a good year, guys. This year is going to be a good year for sure. Things are kind of down right now, but I think this year is going to be a good year. Peace.